what's up, ladies and gentle-tubers? It's time. What is this, a motovlog? Hey, what's up? Piece of crap. Man, it's been a long time. We're out here in southwest Utah. My fan's going off. It's early in the morning, but it's already pretty hot. It's been a while. I've injured my leg last month. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. Just gonna talk about why I haven't been really active on Facebook. So let's get rolling. So it's been a long time since I've done a motovlog. You'll have to pardon me for my terrible motovlogging etiquette, I guess. I don't know. There's probably going to be a lot of ums and ahs and hums and ha's. I tried doing a bunch of motovlogs when I had the GoPro. This is the Sony hooked up to my helmet again. Has a mic jack. Doesn't need a media mod. You know, the battery life is long enough to talk about a topic. You know, a lot of people are like, what are you showing a GoPro review for? What does that matter? Well, that GoPro review, I got a rattle. My freaking mirror. Let me get this going. Look at this. Yeah, this is the first time that it's come off of there, and I tried to secure it a little bit, but it's probably just gonna be a rattly beast. Anyway, started in third, that's nice. One of the reasons why I like the KTM 300, it lets you be lazy a little bit. One of the reasons why I made the GoPro review is while I've had this leg injury, you know, I haven't been on the bike, and I'm gonna be taking it easy today. I'll be honest, it was kind of nice to go back and look at old footage when I was kind of craving the motorcycling thing, you know? It's nice when it's really, really hot. It's nice to kind of relive some rides. It always gets me stoked to ride motorcycles when I edit video. Well, sometimes. Or when I watch a really good video that somebody else has done, I just get pumped up. So that's why cameras matter to me. That, and because they're a big part of my living, which I never thought would be the case. Anyway, you guys, let's talk about social media. This month is my birth month, and I'm not a real big birthday guy. I like to keep things pretty low-key, but this year for my birthday, I decided to give myself kind of an interesting present, and that was just a month, 1 month off of social media, mainly Facebook. And you know, I haven't really been on Facebook a whole lot for, I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years or so. My Everride Facebook following is like 30,000 people. I could be doing so much more with that, but I'm really conflicted about putting a lot of content on Facebook just because it's kind of a dumpster fire now, you know? It used to be really cool, like, you know, places for groups to meet and communities, and I guess it still is if you use it solely for that. And you'll have to pardon me for going real slow. I mean, anyway, I guess that's riding. It's there. Say Facebook was an ex-wife or an ex-girlfriend. Like, Facebook would be the worst. Like, it's somebody who is a communication medium for you and your friends and your family. Oh, did I pass my turn? I might have passed my turn. So let's say, I might have missed the turn, I don't know. Yay, motovlogs. I'm gonna say ex-girlfriend because I have experience with ex-girlfriends. And Facebook, I've had some doozies, man. I've had some terrible girlfriends, let's just say that. Makes me real grateful that I'm with my dream girl now, my wife. Now this ex-girlfriend, like, holds your communication with your family hostage. She spies on you. She keeps tabs on you, and then when you don't want her around, can I go this way? I got a good idea. Let's go out on a real hot day, excessive heat warning in effect, and get lost in the desert. Oh, there we got the side hill. Yeah, I'm where I want to be. I'm there, maybe, I think, hopefully. Oh man. Alright, so I've solved the problem. I've taken the mirror off. That's one more advantage of these. I mean, it's not an advantage that it's fallen off. That's my fault, you know. I put it on this square part and it's a round, you know, U-bolt. That's gonna flop around. Alright, so back to Facebook and why it can be a pretty negative place. And then here I am making a negative motovlog about it, I guess. Motovlogging is really hard. I admire people who can motovlog. I used to be able to do it. Now I'm old and my ADHD is... Actually, it's not ADHD, it's officially ADD, but it's like, you know, pretty intense. Oh, motovlogging. I've missed you, but there's a reason why I don't do it very often. Let me just cut to the chase. Facebook spies on you and then listens to you and then serves you ads based on what they've heard or seen you do or type. I think it was 2012, Facebook ran a pretty unethical experiment to see, you know, they basically were tracking keywords that people were using. They wanted to see if they could make people depressed based on keywords. So they would feed them a whole bunch of keywords that were associated with depression or sadness, or they just give them bad news. And then they would monitor the accounts that they did this to see if those accounts started posting things that were negative in nature and bad news and things like that. Just pretty insidious stuff. You know, you can imagine running an experiment to see if you could make people depressed. That's pretty insidious, and with the amount of suicides that happen in this country, Facebook probably has some blood on their hands from that, and they probably have some blood on their hands for a lot of different reasons. So anyway, in July, I decided, man, what? This was a single track, and now it's a double track. Ow. Anyway, for the month of July, I decided to be off of Facebook, even off of my executive producers group, which I love the producers group. I mean, it's like a safe haven. People are 99% of the time positive and encouraging and just cool pictures, cool adventures, cool stories. I love that group. Not just because they're like paying to be my friends, I guess. I've heard it put that way from my friend Matt, who's a legitimate friend, and they proved it. Because even if people cancel patronage or whatever, you know, a lot of people I still text, especially the guys who've come out on rallies and stuff like that. Oh man, that's such a... I missed the single track over here that I really enjoy going on. But at the same time, it's starting to get real hot. I really enjoy the legitimate friendships that happen, you know? When people come out on rallies and stuff, I get to know them, and you know, a lot of those people have fallen on hard times and canceled their patronage, and that hasn't changed anything. They're still my friends, and I still love them and respect them. And knowing somebody, I mean, I was talking with my son the other day about pornography, actually, you know, and just a lot of people think pornography is the norm, and I think it's pretty insidious. You know, I basically say, hey, anything addictive you should stay away from. And he's like, well, how do you know if something's addictive? And I'm like, because it replaces something awesome and natural with something that deceives your brain. And so if you know, it takes the place of the natural thing, and so that the natural just doesn't cut it for you anymore. You could say that motorcycling is a kind of addictive. It definitely takes the place of walking. And once you ride a motorcycle, you really don't have a desire to walk around anywhere. That's a bad example there, because I was thinking about it, and social media does the same thing. It basically replaces real human relationships, which are awesome, with something fake and manufactured. Because on Facebook, people are either showing you their best days ever or their worst days ever. You know, or their most extreme opinion. That's just not how real people work, you know? You don't go up to somebody screaming about the politician that you hate, or, you know, whatever. It's weird that way. It's weird, right? I think I'm gonna turn around because I do want to go that other way. Should we practice a little pivot turn? You guys can see my progress there. It's been a while and I'm going on my injured leg here, so. Oh, that's not terrible. Better than scooting the bike around, I guess. I've been off social media for a long time. I have a conflict when it comes to using Facebook for the main Everride page. I call Facebook a dumpster fire, and I've stayed off Facebook, and I can't tell you how much it's benefited me psychologically. July has been one of the best months that I've had in a long time, simply from abstaining from Facebook, Instagram, everything else, you know. It's been amazing for my mental and emotional health to be off of Facebook. And I got on just briefly the other day. I was on a family vacation, and there's downtime and getting kind of bored, and you can't exist in a vacuum. When you get rid of one thing, you've got to replace it with another. So I've tried to replace it with reading scriptures, or listening to inspirational talks, or, you know, listening to good TED Talks. Just something that uplifts instead of tears down, you know? Man, I can't tell you how positive and how helpful that's been. You get on vacation, you get some time, and you kind of think to yourself, should I go to the top? Or should I man with my leg? That's not looking super awesome, honestly. Dang it. I'd really like to do that. I know I could do that, but it's hot. If I had a problem, I actually forgot my phone. But I do have the GPS, the emergency transponder, which is good. Anyway, yeah, we'll just, you know what, we'll take it easy, because we're out here alone, injured, no phone. Shouldn't really even be out here right now anyway. Been in too many situations where the heat has become a very serious factor. I forgot where I was. It's one of those things, you know, you get, especially with me, just attention doesn't really last very long. Anyway, on vacation, got on Facebook, and it just kind of reconfirmed, like, oh my gosh, this whole situation, this whole Facebook thing is tricky. It's like that dirty ex-girlfriend, because it, you know, you see her and you're kind of like, she looks kind of good. Like, it won't hurt to go say hi. You go say hi, hey, how you doing? You know, she's talking about your family and things are pretty good and it's all good, and you know, you're seeing posts from your family and from close friends who you really miss and love, and Facebook knows this, the girlfriend knows this. And then the next thing you know, you're reading about the Second American Civil War and how half the country hates the other half of the country, and everybody wants to kill each other, and the coronavirus, and you're like, whoa, that escalated quickly, and you don't even see it coming. I mean, you can see it coming from a mile away, but like, you just get trapped and sucked in so proficiently. Man, it's insidious. In my opinion, it is insidious. And so yeah, I have a real kind of a moral conundrum, because part of my platform where I support my family and make money is on Facebook. And gosh, it's kind of like, man, you know, even though I'm not publishing the hateful stuff, to get to my stuff, people might have to wade through hateful stuff unless they go directly to the page. I want to stay on this single track. Fun times. Anyway, there's kind of a disconnect there, where it's like, man, I need Facebook to make money for my family and my kids, and yet I don't feel comfortable myself being on it. I don't feel comfortable having other people on it. Like, if my page brought somebody to Facebook and then they were depressed because of the things they saw on Facebook, I don't want that. Anyway, so it's really tricky, but at the same time, like, you know, we're all big boys and girls. We can choose what we digest and what we consume, and I talked about this with a couple of friends via text and stuff like that. My friend Warren being one among them. He's a really good friend, and anyway, I really respect his opinion, but he was basically saying, oh, that's neat. Hey, they actually made that into a single track. Cool beans. Oh, wow. He was just like, you know, people can choose what they consume on Facebook, and you know, maybe people are going through their feed and it's crappy, and then you have something positive to add. And I was having a conversation with my son last night. My son is way too much like me. He's inherited some of my more difficult mental illness attributes, which is really sad, but he's such a good kid. But yesterday, you know, we were talking about some of these things in the world that are going on. He was like, you know, what's even the point of living? Why not just check out? He's only 11, right? But he's like, why not just check out? And, you know, there's nothing good in the world. So why not just bail? You know, what's the point of being here? And man, the hard part is I kind of agree with him. And I know that's hard to hear, that's super crappy. And I had to really think about it. Why am I sticking around? Why are we here? Because that's exactly how I think when I'm depressed. And then it dawned on me, like, maybe our life is kind of like the Facebook feed, where yeah, there is a lot of dumpster fire stuff happening. There's a lot of uprisings and strifes and hardships going on, you know? And it dawned on me, and I needed to kind of have this introspection for myself. The world is pretty crappy in a lot of ways. It's great in a lot of ways. It's beautiful. There's so much good in the world that we don't see. You know what I mean? Just like on Facebook, we don't see a lot of people's just everyday goodness. The stuff that's decent and fun and the love that's shown. You know, we see what I said. It's either the best day or the worst day on Facebook. So what I had to tell him was, you know what? We have to be the force for good, you know? We have to be the force for good in somebody's feed. Ooh, buddies. Don't want to hit that leg. Time to turn around. Hey, that one was pretty good. Not too bad. What was that, 45 degrees? Not too shabby. Anyway, yes, we have to be the good in people's feed. And I'm not saying we have to be on Facebook to do that. I'm just saying that the world can seem like a pretty terrible place, but we can brighten it. That was my message to my son, and that's my message to you today. Is I just want to advocate for love and goodness, and for us to be the light that the world needs, because it has enough darkness already. It has enough hatred, and it has enough just terrible things. And we need to be the voice for good. Anyway, guys, I've talked for a long time. I've still got a lot of single track and riverbed left to go to get home. Just want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a positive light in the world. For, you know, if you're gonna post something on your feed, let's try to make it good. Let's try to show some love. But it's time to talk about why I bought a carbureted motorcycle instead of TPI. So that'll be on the main channel. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Much love. Ever right out.